Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Drop-In Morning Show with the Teach Better team, where we are live every single morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern. Holy moly, it is Friday, February 18th. Coffee is ready. Brad and I are ready to recap the week. Brad, you killed it live yesterday, so I know we're going to have to talk about that. I was a little jealous about you being able to interview that incredible host, or that incredible guest, but so excited to get into what this week looked like, what next week will look like, and obviously wrapping up our theme, which will be so wonderful. Of course, as always, we have our good news stories. We have some good holidays coming your way. And of course, we'll continue to celebrate our Happy Feed app, which I actually had a meeting with their owner yesterday. So there's some good stuff coming your way. Go fill up your coffee. We'll be right back. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Brad Hughes, how are you?
Rae Hughart, I'm doing great. I get to hang out with you on a Friday morning. It couldn't get better. I'm doing real well. How about you? And how are your family, your loved ones? How's life in Illinois for you, Rae?
You know, it's going well. I will say, for whatever reason, I just feel like you and I have not done this in like a month. But we did do Daily Drop-In last week. I don't know, for whatever reason, it feels like you and I have not been live together in 12 years. So I'm thrilled that we get to start our morning together. Did you get snow at all yesterday? It's really snowy here.
Yeah, I did a power shovel before coming on the Daily Drop-In this morning. I think we probably got 7 to 8 inches of snow last night. So yeah, buses are off the road and schools are closed in my district. And so yeah, for me, it was a coffee shovel and then hurry to get to meet my friend Rae Hughart for the Daily Drop-In. So lots of snow here. How are things in your neck of the woods there?
Yeah, we definitely got snow. I do know of many, many schools that either took a snow day or an e-learning day today.
Mm-hmm.
And then many schools in the US will also have Monday off for President's Day. I know some schools will even have an Institute Day after that. I was speaking to a few educators yesterday who had school Wednesday and won't have school again until next Wednesday. I mean, it's a crazy, crazy schedule. But I will say, Brad, for whatever reason, and I don't mean this in a negative way, I think it's okay. But for whatever reason, February is a hard, challenging month in schools. And I think giving, everybody a little bit of a snow day boost, a little bit of a long weekend, I don't think that hurts anybody, especially if we can come back stronger and better than ever, right?
I totally agree. I mean, it is a hard month. February is a hard month, a short month, but it feels long with the lack of sunlight, changing weather, high expectations, lots of stress in our buildings still, associated with the pandemic, and lots of stresses associated with just doing the hard work, the heavy lifting of educating and serving our kids. So any opportunity that we can get to kind of reset, restore, it's a little bit of a surprise. It's much needed. I know that educators are very grateful.
Yes, no, I totally agree. It's a good one. But friends, we're going to get there. Good morning, everyone. I know Brienne's here. Adam's here. Eric, good morning. Good to see you. So good that everyone's popping in on Friday morning. Brad, it was a super busy week. I know that. I actually spent time at an education conference earlier this week that was taking place in Illinois. And I will say, I know I am a huge advocate. And Brad, I'm not taking anything back. I know I'm a huge advocate for us being able to foster relationships in person, able to accomplish so much together, even at a far distance.
Right.
I will say there truly is, like we know, that 1% that you can't accomplish online. It was so nice to see people in person. I think one of the biggest challenges of virtual versus in person is just the ability to relax and talk about nothing together. It was kind of nice just to be with people in community, but not necessarily need to be talking shop about education. It was a really nice reminder of kind of building my own excitement for the Teach Better conference, to be honest.
Absolutely. Our guest Tiffany Koppel and I got into that yesterday about the power of connecting at a conference. And yes, it is the sessions, the seminars, the speeches, the workshops, but it's the connection between and after the fact that really really is so soothing and so energizing. And
Yeah.
I've been really missing in-person meetings just for that reason, even at the school site. If we're working through difficult circumstances, I love in-person meetings because everyone can be in each other's presence and everyone can see, hear, and feel the feelings associated with what's going on. And I think it really builds empathy in a way that connecting online through Google Meet or through Zoom, it just doesn't have that spark. So welcome any opportunity to get together. And yeah, our Teach Better conference in October, Ray, is going to be a stellar opportunity to do just that, to connect in person for all kinds of things that have nothing to do with shop talk and everything to do with lifting each other up.
It's just so funny, Brad. I mean, good morning. I know we have even more friends jump in. It's good to see you, Andrea and Nikki. Good morning. Brad, it's so funny. I was in a few meetings yesterday about the conference, right? The secret planning that's going on, the sponsors that have joined already. We have Podcasters Row opening up to the public soon. If you're a podcaster and you want to join and podcast at the conference that's happening soon, we just have little things that haven't been announced that I know are really going to excite people, especially if you're an author, there might be something special for you. Like there's just a lot, but I am so excited for the unplanned moments. Like that's really what this week reminded me of, is the value behind the moments that are completely unplanned, that we just get to be in community together. And kind of like now, to being able to say good morning to friends, like the things that aren't structured, and you just get to kind of let your hair down and relax. So there's a lot that's going to come up with this conference, but it was a really good reminder. IdeaCon in Chicago does an incredible job. Shout out to Amber and Lindsay and Billy and all of the incredible educators a part of that specific event. Obviously, there's great conferences everywhere, but IdeaCon is a very special conference that has a very similar vibe to Teach Better. It was always good to be around those people doing good work.
For sure. It's a very cool and special thing about being part of any learning community, is that there's the opportunity for those learning communities to overlap. And when that happens, the communities lift each other up by drawing members into the communities. And I mean, just the opportunity to celebrate the great work other educators are doing and learn from them. And again, just be in their company. What an awesome time. I'm glad you had a great time at IdeaCon.
So good. And I know Andrea is being so funny that she had FOMO missing the networking event. Friends, we are going to have so many opportunities to continue to collaborate. Don't forget, anytime you're traveling somewhere or attending an educator event, there's probably a Teach Better community member also attending. I think that was kind of the beauty behind this week specifically, is that this was a random message that someone just threw out to the group and said, I'm in Illinois, I'm attending an event. Is any Teach Better family members going to be there? And then the community grew from there. And just what a nice reminder that we all, as we make decisions to further, the work that we're doing in education, there's probably a Teach Better family member or two or three or four also a part of that. So it's a pretty wide reach that we have. So continue to brainstorm ways to interact with our community in multiple modalities. It's really fun.
Can't wait. And I sometimes say that the idea or the answer is closer than we might think. The same with a Teach Better family member. There's a Teach Better family member closer than you might think. And the opportunity to connect in person is something I'm extremely excited about, Ray. Ray, you and I have never met in person. I just watch out. I'm not sure if you're a hugger, but I'm a hugger. And I want to make sure that people are prepared, that I give and receive hugs freely in person. So bring it on. I'm looking forward to meeting in person.
You know what? I will say, I think like in typical life, I would say, oh, I'm not really a hugger.
Mhm.
There is no way that when I see people in the Teach Better community that they're not getting a hug. Like there's just no way. Like I just am so thrilled. I'm so excited to meet you, and hugs allowed. I cannot wait for all the fun that we're going to be having. I still can't believe we haven't met in person, but until we have the opportunity to all meet in person.
Mhm.
We still are in our own communities doing the good work, right? Making a massive impact with students. And there are still opportunities for us to all connect in so many ways, whether it's in person or virtually. And I do holistically, to my core, believe in the power of fostering relationships virtually as well. 12-hour live is coming up. That also took up a big part of my week this week. Setting up 12-hour live on February 26th. I just think that's going to be insane all over again. So that'll be a fun way for people to connect to.
Listen, you're one of the hearts of this community, Rae Hughart, and the fact that we are still coming together every single day on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn with the daily drop-in just really speaks to that spark that happened back in the spring of 2020. Schools were closed. how can we stay connected and it's still going strong? And so this daily drop in opportunity for me and for all of us is that opportunity. So thanks for being among the people that were at the heart of this.
Oh, it's so good. I mean, Brad, I know that our weeks were all full of all different things, whether it be being in schools, working with students at conferences, teach better responsibilities. But overall, if you had to give your week an evaluation, good week?
Oh, great week. Yeah, great week. Heavy investment in relationships, procedures, and care last week, Ray, that really paid off this week for the experiences of students and families and staff members. Leveraging relationships, and more relationships this week really paid off. And seeing people that I work with, seeing colleagues, just seeing new things that they are bringing to the table, new ideas, new initiatives, and some of them are just sort of happenstance. They're like happy accidents that work out. Just for me, it's the power of sharing responsibility with others and letting them roll with it. And it's just so exciting as a leader and a colleague to see people rise up and step up and flourish. It was a really good week. How about for you?
Yeah, I know it was great. The one thing I was thinking of is yesterday I met with the owner of Happy Feed, which was an app that was recommended last week with Rob Dunlap. And there was some discussion around this app just being a
Mm-hmm.
great space to document gratitude. If any of you missed the show, it was last Thursday that we started having this conversation. We've been able to talk about it since. And Brad, we just kind of ran with it that following Friday. We were like, let's just say that on Daily Drop In, we're going to start making an intentional moment before the holidays, before Brainstorm Bank, where we're going to be documenting our gratitude. And I think it's so fun to be able to do that with guests. It's so nice to be able to do it every week with you. And there's a lot of features that this app offers of being able to go back and kind of reflect on past memories, past time, which to be honest is what I'm most excited for. I know documenting gratitude is a really, really powerful practice. I'm not negating that in any way, but I cannot wait to be able to have weeks and weeks and weeks of content of daily drop-in messages and memories, and then being able to kind of relive those again. Happy Feed is owned by an incredible man that is has a background in technology and
Mm-hmm.
started to learn about his appreciation for being able to share gratitude every single day, and really built an app that's conducive to all different types of people and communities and families to utilize. And it was very cool chatting with him. He's actually in the Chicagoland area right now.
Mm.
He grew up in New York, but currently resides in the Chicagoland area. So I even joked with him that we could meet in person if there was ever an opportunity. But they are excited to actually choose to be an active part of Daily Drop-In. That'll be coming within the next few weeks.
Wowzers.
And also, they will be in attendance at the Teach Better conference. So we're very excited to celebrate.
That is outstanding news. That is outstanding. I tell you, the I'm on a 7 day streak with Happy Feed since being introduced to the app with you and Rob, and I love the prompts and the reminders. Like you, I've got a notification set up. It takes seconds, but it's such a good feeling. Even if even if the thing you're recognizing, and I've been recognizing really small things, but recognizing small things is going to have a cumulative impact on your sense of well-being. And Ray, I love the social connection opportunities that the app provides. I've got a vision in my school building where I invite staff members to install the Happy Feed app and to gather moments of gratitude from their classes that can be shared into a school group and then shared out on morning announcements or in other displays or other media. So and you've got the same kind of idea for our Teach Better family, just leveraging the power of the app to share the great things that are happening. And gratitude shared is incredible energy there.
I will say, Brad, he kind of asked me point blank. He's like, "Why does Teach Better think this app is so great?" Because sharing gratitude is a practice that we could have been choosing to do in
Mhm.
so many different ways on the show. And I think that he really wanted to understand, like, why is this app? Did it just hit at the right time? Is this just happenstance? Did you just like that it was a free app? Is that what drew you in? And I won't lie to you, Brad, I haven't been able to reflect with you on this, but for me, I know gratitude is a valuable practice. My struggle is that on Daily Drop In, we don't like to just talk about the overarching concepts. We really like to give people the actionable step that they can go take. And I just haven't found the way that I like to share gratitude that
Mhm.
really gives me that long-term investment in ensuring I'm doing it every single day, every single week. And I love that this app is easy to use. I love that we're able to document and revisit past events. To me, that's the most valuable part. I love the reminder. I love the prompts because sometimes it is hard to not feel like you're just repeating the same thing. I'm grateful for my dogs. Like I can say that every day, right? So I was telling him, I was like, I love that there is an actionable suggestion that we can now give to our community. That's a free app that allows us to do so many different things. So just kind of fun. I think we should do that, Brad, this morning before we get into the good news.
100%. I like you, Rae. I love the structure. I love the intentionality of it. I love that it gives you positive feedback. It's like a gratitude journal that says, "Great job, you just entered your journal." Like it's wonderful. I love the interface. I love the colors. It's whimsical, but it's also very, I don't know, it's very positive and grown up, for lack of a better word. But no, I'm enjoying my time with Happy Feet. I'm really glad to be introduced by you and Rob to that app, and there's tons of possibilities. And I'm really excited that you made that personal reach out to the company and to the owner, and excited for great things to come.
I have to tell you though, I kept brainstorming. I was like, ooh, this is a way you can use it with teachers. This is how you can use it in the classroom. This is how a school building could use it or a district could use it. And he was like, I love all these ideas. He's like, but just to confirm, it's not just created for education. I'm like, I know, but that's the only way I think. I'm like, I'm so glad that other families can use it. He had all these examples of ways that like normal people can use it. And I'm like, no. But educators can really use it in a lot of different ways.
Rae, I think that when we think of Teach Better, we think of people before product. We think of that connection before content. This is connecting through the content. And I really think this is a people-focused opportunity. And certainly there is there's an element of a commercial product to it. But the more people that are using it, it's about the people. It's not about necessarily about the tool. And I really think that that is authentic. And I think it sounds like you found that was an authentic vibe when you were speaking with the owner.
Totally agree. All right, Brad, what are we going to say in our happy feed today that we are grateful for?
Well, I'm grateful for you, Rae, and I'm grateful for this opportunity weekly to connect. I'm grateful when our comments are lighting up. I'm grateful for the opportunity just to connect through this daily drop in every week. Just like the happy feed, it's intentional. It's a prompt for me to get up, to connect, to bring my best, and to seek the best in others. So I'm happy for you, Rae, and I'm happy for daily drop in.
Yes, I love this. I'm gonna to document not only our appreciation for all of the people in our community, but really I love all the comments every single morning, starting with those good morning messages. I love it. So powerful. Saving it. Good to go. Are we ready to get into some holidays and some good news?
Excited about it, and let's change things up. Let's do good news and holidays today.
Oh my gosh, this is the best day ever. Good morning, everyone. We are doing something that Brad Hughes never lets me do. We are getting into a good news article before we get into the holidays. You know, Secretly wanted to do this, and I wait every single week until Brad tells me today's the day. It only took until February 18th to figure this out, and I'm so thrilled. For everyone here this morning, regardless of where you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or LinkedIn, where we stream every single morning at 7 a.m., do us a little favor, if you don't mind. Share this feed. That's a really easy way to retweet the link or share the link. Tell them what you appreciate about the show thus far or what you're enjoying, maybe what made you laugh or giggle, something that maybe you have a question on. We'd love to be able to see that, but also by sharing that you are watching the show in any way, shape, or form, it gives us the opportunity to reach more educators and continue to foster our morning daily drop-in educator community. So please, we appreciate you doing that. Continue to amplify the work being done on the show with all the incredible guests that join us every single week. Brad, what is our article about?
Rae, when I saw this article come up today on goodnewsnetwork.org, I knew I had to bring it to you and our Teach Better community. And we're going to pause for a tale of waggy tales, actually, Rae. And it's research that is busting the 7 dog years myth and exploring data about dog longevity that can help humans live longer. I think you and I, as dog owners, would agree that there is absolutely an uptake of health and well-being when we're interacting with our furry friends. But a new study into how long dogs live busts the myth that each of our years is 7 for dogs, 7 in dog years, and could even help humans live longer, Ray.
I love this. Sign me up.
They're learning that large breeds age 10 times quicker than us, and some dogs that are some small dogs can be half of that. But now scientists are studying the genomes of 10,000 dogs in a long-term study called the Dog Aging Project. And what they're hoping to learn, Ray, is to see why what they call super centenarian dogs that can live to 20 years can survive so long and apply to people. So this project is exciting because they think it'll improve dog health and ultimately human health, one of the largest genetics data sets ever produced for dogs, a powerful resource for veterinary sciences, understanding the role of genetics and aging, but also to answer more fundamental questions about how dogs evolved and were domesticated, the evolutionary history. So lots of layers to this research, lots of promise, but above all, resulting in health and happiness, we hope, for our four-legged friends and the two-legged people that share their company, right?
I love this. I would really value hearing from the comments this morning what animals people like the most, right? Or are we all dog lovers in this community? I know we have some epically passionate cat lovers on our team. I really hope that somebody on our team in our community has a turtle. Maybe they're a reptile lover, but you know that I am partial to being a dog fan, Brad. I love this article. So interesting.
Yeah.
Anything you can do to extend the life of our mutts, I think, is a good thing.
The researchers are saying that dog aging and longevity and care, long-term care for dogs, kind of parallels sort of our long-term care and our aging process as humans. And so there's some complementary research, complementary science that can support both humans and dogs to age safely in a healthy way and successfully. So it's great news. And, I used to have a turtle. It really helped me come out of my shell, but I'm not sure. Reptiles are not my thing. I love my furry friends, and just the intentionality of interacting with someone who's really happy to see you at the end of the day, no matter what.
I do to say, Brad, and I know this is the most ridiculous statement, but I kind of believe it. This is my feeling. I have two dogs. I think one of them is aging backwards. I think that I have a Benjamin Button dog because when I got Harvey, he was an old man. He, listened very well trained. He came from a shelter. He had some back history that we tolerated. He never played with a toy ever in his life. He wouldn't pick one up, wouldn't touch one. Now, as we're talking, he is walking around my office with a frog in his mouth, a toy frog that he carries around like a kid carries around a blanket now. It's 7 years later. I think he's aging backwards. He doesn't listen as well anymore. I think that he's turning into a puppy. That's my mindset.
I think he's learned to live and just sort of be in tune with the positive energy and the vibrations in the Ray household there. Our dog Charlie is a lot like that too, Ray, 10 years old, and he's becoming more puppy-like, more frisky, more frolicky, more, just naughty, just a naughty puppy. And we tell him that. It's like, you are just such a scamp. A scamp. That's it. So he's frequently running around with a toy in his mouth and throwing the toy up in the air, like, look at me, come play. It's like, you're an old man, dude. Settle down on the couch. But no, it's good. So I mean, we're very grateful that that playfulness brings up the playfulness in us adults too.
Yeah, I love that. Eric's in the comments saying he loves all animals. His wife is a vet. My sister, I know I've mentioned, is a vet, and she has just laughed at watching Harvey over the years because when I got Harvey, she was the terrible sister that came over and brought like 10 to 15, a bucket of toys to be like, you got a puppy, let's play. And her disappointment in her face when this dog had zero interest. Now she just jokes all the time. She's like, now, of course, he's interested in the toys. So.
Well, we grow together with our animal companions, and we grow into life together. And whether you have a turtle or a toy poodle, growing together with those companions is what it's all about.
I really would. I think that needs to be a survey we actively share with our community. If you're listening to this live, of course, in the comments, we always appreciate. But even if you're catching this after the fact or listening on Teach Better Talk podcast, which, by the way, we always appreciate when you subscribe, rate, and review. That really helps us here. But I can't wait to hear kind of maybe some strange animals that people have had or continue to have in their families. A cockatiel would be cool.
Yep.
Like I said, like a cool reptile would be awesome. Maybe some squirrel. Like I feel like there's got to be some weird animals that people own.
Ray, in your part of the world, do you in your neighborhood, or I guess in Chicago, have you heard of these kind of strange or exotic pets? What comes to mind for you?
I mean, I've seen those, gosh, I can't think of like the chinchillas, right? Like the I was thinking like squirrel like. I don't know that that's really fair to say. But I can't think of any. I don't think I've seen many exotic animals where I live. You know what? But Brad, I'm gonna go door by door and just knock on people's homes later this afternoon and just ask to see what animals are in their house. I'll let you know.
That's great. I'll just make sure you have a clipboard in hand. You've got some ID, so I'm an official Teach Better Team family member, and I'm doing an animal survey. In fact, I've got the Google form ready to send out already in another tab. I'll just add the link later, Ray, and we'll find out who's got what. Hedgehogs. I have a couple of our Teach Better Team family members have new hedgehogs. One of my colleagues at work has a new hedgehog in their life. Guinea pigs are also very popular and cute, and I kind of I misunderstood guinea pigs as kind of sort of aloof, kind of doing their own thing, but I've learned that people that own them are very, very connected and attached to them. Here's Mark, who's saying that they've got a chinchilla, cat, and a dog.
Oh my
And
gosh.
right, and also Mark has a side business where he's collecting all of the hair from those animals and he's turning it into sweaters for his community. So good on you, Mark. That's wonderful.
I didn't even think about it. You're right. Hedgehogs. What about like ferrets? Like, does anybody have a ferret? Those are
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I think we need to just create a list. And I love the survey idea. We'll say,
I
if
think.
only it was like a fun pet holiday. We don't have any fun pet holidays today.
Oh, okay. Well, we can make one up. It's a real fake pet holiday. It's a Teach Better Team Pet Day today on February the 18th. So there we
I,
go. It's official now.
I think truly Friday, February 18th is report your pet to the Teach Better Team Day. That's what it is. I love it. He says, "Oh, there's hair everywhere." I believe it. I will say, animals that shed. That's a very intentional love that we have for those animals to clean up after them all the time.
It sure is.
Well, maybe to help be able to deal with all the hair from the animals in your home, today is World Drink Wine Day. So after work today, once everybody is fed and bathed and you're relaxing at home, we encourage you all to pour yourself a glass of wine. It doesn't say that you have to, have a specific type of wine. It's all your decision, but it is apparently Drink Wine Day, which is fitting for a Friday afternoon.
It sure is. I do not need any extra encouragement, Ray, but now that I know it's officially Drink Wine Day, I think it's my obligation to really celebrate.
I love it. It's also National Caregivers Day. It is Pluto Day, which is very interesting. I'd love to actually look into that further, especially with students. A fun fact I didn't know is that Pluto, one day on Pluto is 6.4 days on Earth, which means that one day on Pluto is almost a week on Earth.
Incredible. Does that mean that on Pluto that a dog year is like 42 years?
See?
My math is probably not up to speed there, but and I think of Pluto the dog, Mickey Mouse's faithful friend and companion. And I wondered when you said it was Pluto Day, if you're talking about the dwarf planet or talking about Mickey's dog. So maybe we can celebrate both.
I think we should celebrate both. I'm a fan. The other thing that I just thought was so strange, in classrooms, I really love doing lessons on body language and gesturing and how our facial expressions can affect the way that we communicate. I never knew this holiday existed, but it is Thumb Appreciation Day. And the tagline of this is thumbs exhibit a form of emotion of the body that it's attached to. Here's how. And if you click open this article, which is available on nationaltoday.com, it goes into how the thumb was actually created as a tool to communicate with the people around you, and extends all the way back to the early 1900s, which is so interesting.
Ray, I really want to dig into that because I know about thumbs up and thumbs down. Sometimes if we're asking kids for a check-in, maybe it's thumb in the middle, right?
I was also, like communicating that you need to go. I mean, I don't know,
yeah.
But I feel like there's some options here.
Right. I didn't know there was so many intricate, nuances of communication with the thumb. So I'm excited to dig into that.
Yeah, I haven't read this whole article, but what I do love about nationaltoday.com is that it not only gives you the history, the backstory, the description, there's all these subsections, but one specifically is how to celebrate the holiday. Right. So like if we were to explore further and how to celebrate, World Wine Day, that could have been some suggestions. Ways to celebrate Thumb Appreciation Day or activities is talking about playing thumb wrestling with your friends. I don't know the last time I had a thumb war. It
Right.
says create thumbprint art or share your thoughts on social media of how your thumb and hashtag thumb appreciation day apparently can be used to communicate. This is so funny. Also, it includes 5 things you didn't know about your thumb. And it's endless, Brad. It's endless.
It's perfect. I mean, you've got one hand, or 4 fingers and a thumb. You can count all 5 things you can do with your thumb, and you can do it twice. It's incredible. And there's something really magical and mystical, it sounds like, about our thumbs. I just really can't put my finger on what it is at this time. So we're just gonna
Uh,
move on.
ha 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 ha. Well, let's get into brainstorming our opportunity to see what that's like. We'll be right back. I think sometimes we're a little too lame for our own good, but hey, everyone, good morning. Welcome back to Daily Drop-In. We're in our brainstorm bank segment. You guys already know how this all works, but this is our intentional time every single morning to just pause, tell you that we appreciate you, and really ask if there's anything that we can help you with, anything we can brainstorm with you. I truly believe, and the whole Teach Better team truly believes, that the solutions to the problems that we have in our schools exist in classrooms around the world. We want to be here to brainstorm with you as you continue to problem solve through reaching a student better than ever, fostering good communication with your stakeholders, building relationships, you name it. We'd love to be here to brainstorm with you. Brad and I, of course, don't promise that we'll have the perfect solution for everybody, but we would love to be a part of that journey towards finding a solution. Brad, as you obviously had a conversation yesterday on the show, and obviously all week we continue to celebrate, there's been a really interesting theme this week. What has been your thoughts so far?
About the power of creating safe spaces, both physically and emotionally, for our kids and communities. And I think back to Ray when we were looking forward to welcoming kids back in person for the first time after the pandemic in 2020. There was, of course, a lot of frayed nerves, a lot of negative anticipation, a lot of worry. And what we discovered is that we really wanted to connect with a vision of restoring schools as places of physical safety, emotional safety, just like they were before the pandemic. And I'll never forget the sight of seeing little ones in their masks for the first time returning to school. Their parents, the expressions on their face were a little bit worried but hopeful, and just like our educators. And that's been our journey for the past 2 years almost, of restoring and maintaining schools as those safe spaces. And at every opportunity that our guests have shared with it all comes down to the power of relationships and the power of personal connection, meeting people's emotional, physical, and learning needs right where they are. So that's what's coming to mind for me. How about for you?
No, I think that was an important spin that I loved about this theme. Every week when we bring a theme to mind, our guests have so much control over
Mhm.
how that narrative around that theme goes. And I think it was so nice to be able to see that this theme about creating a safe space extended more than just the physical space, but really extended into creating an emotionally, safe space as well, and everything in between. So I think this is an important topic. I do think this topic is being discussed all over education right now as we continue to not only stay happy and healthy in our classrooms, but also kind of seeing the power in what those types of opportunities that we have, those choices that we can make on a daily basis, can help foster this conversation. So it's been a great discussion, but I would love for everybody this morning, as they are thinking through, maybe they haven't caught all the episodes this week of Daily Drop-In, really thinking through what your physical space says as far as safety, and what your space in general, the culture behind your space, how that impacts the emotional component as well.
Ray, one of my favorite authors who researches and presents on co-regulation and seeking to understand the emotional background of behavior is Mona Delahooke. And Dr. Delahooke says that safety is in the eye of the beholder. So we as educators and caregivers, we can and must invest a great amount of time and thought into creating the safe spaces that we think are going to meet the needs of our learners and the people around us. But really, that sense of safety is embodied by the people around us. And so it's really essential, and this has come up with our guests too, it's essential to involve those that we serve and connect with in conversation about what could make this place feel more welcoming? If there was one thing the adults in the building could do to help you look forward to school even more, what would it be? When something goes, and I had a conversation with a student this week where something went wrong. We worked our way through it, but I asked if there was one thing the adults in this situation could have done differently that would have reduced the stress for you and maybe avoided the situation, what might that be? And I found the answer, and I was able to share that back with the staff that responded. No one did anything wrong. Everyone did heart-led, student-led, focused work, but just asking the student involved or the people involved, what could have made this situation or this environment or this opportunity or this class or this school even better for you, even a small thing. That's where safety is in the eye of the beholder. And that's where we can leverage their power and their voice to make our environments even better and even more focused for the people that we serve.
Well, I know we're going to get into recapping the week and also previewing next week, which will have a new theme and new guests joining us. But Brad, it was interesting. The theme this week came up in other groups, other subgroups of the Teach Better community. As so
Yes.
many of you know, a part of the Teach Better community, there are all these little like subgroups of educators that come together for different purposes. And if you're not a part of some and it would interest you, I invite you to join us. Our bloggers are very active. They come together once a quarter. Our podcasters are very active. They come together once a week. Our administrative mastermind group gets together twice a week. I mean, there's all these like little, subsections, and climate and culture safety came up in our admin mastermind sessions this week.
Mm-hmm.
There was just a lot of healthy dialogue around a number of different things. One of the PM session for the admin mastermind even got into evaluating new teachers. And one of the tools that we discussed, which I know is also referenced in our academy, in the Art of Mentoring course, is how the physical setup of your room can actually be a way to evaluate and give feedback to a new teacher, how they utilize their space, how their space is physically designed to support safety and creativity. It's just interesting to see so many different overlaps of this conversation this week.
Ray, there's a saying in education that everything speaks and that the walls are an additional teacher. One thing that we can say about environments is if we as educators feel comfortable and if we feel that the space that we're walking into, that we're inhabiting each day is a welcoming one for us, then that is a key and foundational element of making sure that space is safe for the people in the room, whether it's kids or colleagues. It could be a faculty lounge, or it could be a school office. But safety begins with us. It's a sense of reduced stress. It's a sense of increased hope. And when our physical surroundings, whether it's a Pinterest-worthy classroom or whether it is just a very, very basic and welcoming space, if we feel comfortable in the space that we've designed, that is a key foundational ingredient to extending that safety outwards to the people that come into our spaces.
Brad, I haven't talked about this with anybody, but just thinking through, again, physical space, emotional safety,
Mm-hmm.
all those pieces, it's kind of interesting. Obviously, in my community, there's been a lot of discussion around snow days and e-learning days. And there was some critics in the world yesterday discussing there was a lot of schools that took off yesterday because of snow and ice, the threat of snow and ice.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't really start snowing. It didn't really start getting icy until about noon or like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. There was a lot of feedback around, oh my gosh, we shouldn't have taken today. It was a beautiful morning. What are schools doing closed? And then the snow got really bad in the afternoon. Like I think getting students home would have been traumatic in some regard with the snow and the ice that came down. I think it's interesting the responsibility that our schools have right now to find the safest way to foster learning. And I just was really proud of some of the schools and the districts that made decisions that said, in the morning, we are all going to get to school just fine, very safe. But the afternoons are really putting people at risk. There's going to be a lot of stress, concern around getting home safely with icy roads. And the opportunity we have to then make decisions to say, it's going to be a snow day or it's going to be an e-learning day so people can stay safely at home is a really interesting world we live in now. I don't know that conversation was as relevant, 5-10 years ago.
I think, Ray, that there is a tremendous risk when we confuse inconvenience with true safety. And I have extreme empathy for all of our superintendents, directors of education, as well as directors of transportation services who are making these decisions with imperfect data. We can only make the decisions that we can with the data in front of us. And as long as it's a heart-led decision that has to do with the care of the kids, and let's face it, the care of our bus operators, the care of our educators coming to work in a variety of places. Some of our districts are really big. Some of us have 40, 50-minute, 60-minute drives into work. And at any rate, sometimes it's helpful to think, in an organizational setting, you have to think backwards from a worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is that someone could be badly injured or lose their life on a school bus or on a walk to school. We cannot prevent every risk, but when we have the opportunity to prevent it, we have to take that step. I think of author Rob Bell, who says, we cannot control how people are going to respond to our work in the world. So strength and empathy to those people that are making those decisions. They may be unpopular because they result in inconvenience. And I'm going to say they can result in real hardship to families who are navigating family life with multiple kids at a stressful time. But let's think backwards from a worst case scenario here, and let's be grateful to the people who are making those decisions. Even if they're imperfect, even if they're inconvenient, it's all in the interest of safety for kids. So that's my take on that, Rae.
So valuable. Brad, I do want to get into recapping this week and previewing next week. I know so many of you like to hear the messaging and the guests ahead of time, so we will be able to provide that to you this morning. Additionally, we want to give a big shout out to Lori in the comments, has her first presentation today at a conference. Lori, we're so excited for you. We heard about this a few weeks ago, and we cannot wait to kind of hear about how this presentation opportunity goes. You're going to be fabulous. Go kill it, girl. You'll be wonderful.
And Rae, Dana Goodyear's also up and at 'em this morning with nerves and excitement before a conference. So we've got people who are just kicking it and making a difference on a daily basis. Dana and Lori, best wishes to both of you, and excited to hear back from you about what you are sharing and what you're learning in these opportunities.
Yes. And don't forget, just like we do in our classrooms all the time, the first step, Brad, you said 100 times this show, relationships. Build a relationship with your audience. Let them see your personality. Give them that big old smile so they know that they are learning from a warm and gracious person, and you'll be wonderful. We cannot wait how all that goes. We'll be right back here in just a second to recap the week and preview this upcoming week for all of you. No surprise there, Brad. We love that little jingle. That means that we are recapping our week. For those of you who may not have caught every single episode of Daily Drop-In, that we stream live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And of course, if you're listening to this after the fact on Teach Better Talk podcast, you can head there, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast, and let us know how each episode is affecting you and the work that you are doing in education. Brad, we had a really full week this week and have a really full week next week. So should we get into that recap?
Let's get right to it. Can't wait.
All right, Monday morning, as always, if you believe it, it was Valentine's Day this week. It feels like ages ago. Jeff Gargis and I were live on Monday morning together celebrating Valentine's Day. It was also the day after the Super Bowl, and there was just a lot going on. So shout out to that fun morning that we had, kind of celebrating a lot of different things, but especially the fact that my Rams won the Super Bowl.
I always laugh out loud at you and Jeff. Your shenanigans and your actions on Monday morning just kickstart my week. It was a lot of fun. Congrats to your team, Rae. I know that you're heavily invested in your NFL team, and I know that it was fun to give Jeff the gears too. But boy, and Jeff's in our comments this morning. Good morning to you, Jeff. And yeah, thanks for getting my day off, my Monday off to a great start this week.
Always so fun. There was a lot of good Teach Better updates that day as well. We were able to announce some new speakers. We announced that there was a course coming out on Wednesday, which I'm sure many of you have already taken advantage of. So it was a good opportunity to kind of highlight lots of things going on in the Teach Better community on Monday. Definitely go check that out. On Tuesday, we had Henry Turner join us. And we had some great conversation on Tuesday with Henry. So definitely go check out that Tuesday morning conversation as well. And then, of course, Wednesday, we had Adam Muller join us, who is a longtime member of our community. He was able to join us from his classroom and share some insight on Wednesday.
Great to see Adam back, and great to follow Adam. Adam's a great follow on social media. He posts uh, pictures of his whiteboard message. I know that message was inspired by Monty Syrie, another Teach Better family member, and just putting great things out there. So these are great follows, everyone. If you're interested, follow them up.
So good. Brad, you had a conversation on Thursday with Tiffany, and that was just so fun to be able to watch. Thank you for taking over the host responsibility. You're a natural, and it was so fun to be able to tune into that show. You and Tiffany had a great conversation. What was your major takeaway from your conversation with Tiffany?
Tiffany is she's an educator who's committed to personal and professional growth, and she's committed to finding the fun, finding the joy of connection in unexpected ways. It really impressed me and inspired me that she, in her busy life as a Soul building administrator right now, found the opportunity that lifted her up and lifted her students up by teaching 2 coding courses. So Tiffany's background is in technology. She was an innovation leader and now a school leader. But, we discovered that there's that third path of connection through content. And Tiffany's living it. I thoroughly enjoyed getting to know her through the interview, thoroughly enjoyed the opportunity to host, and look forward to staying in touch with Tiffany and learning more from her.
So fun. For next week, we will continue with a new theme and new guests joining us on the Daily Drop-In Morning Show, where we're streaming live every single morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And of course, after the fact, you can catch us on Teach Better Talk podcast. For next week, our theme is quite important. It says small steps, big gains. Keep moving forward, looking ahead for your own goals. There will be a lot of good discussion around that topic. Obviously, Monday morning, we will be joined by the one and only Jeff Gargas. He's always with us on Monday mornings. On Tuesday next week, we have Salma joining us, who is a brand new face to our community. We cannot wait to have her share her voice, her ideas with our family here. On Wednesday, we have a very special guest. Marcus Bellion is joining us. He is the president of the Illinois Principals Association. He's an active member and will be a part of our 12-hour live series. He is going to be a wonderful voice in our community, a new face more or less, but very, very active coming in the next few weeks. He is a high school principal, so that will be a wonderful opportunity. And then, of course, on Thursday, bringing in Rachel, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Stemis. I'm excited to interview her and bring another new face to the community before Friday. We get to recap it. It'll be great.
I know Rachel well, and I'm going to be connecting with Rachel over the weekend just to do a little brainstorming for Daily Drop-In. She's an award-winning teacher candidate, and she brought an incredible heart and incredible commitment to improving school community and culture in my very building. So I'm looking forward to having you dig into her contributions on Thursday.
Cannot wait. And then, of course, as many of you know, we will get into this whole week of Daily Drop-In. We'll be able to talk about the small steps we can make to make massive gains in our communities. And then we will be leading up for the 12-hour live that will be happening on Saturday. So many of you I know are just, you wake up every Saturday and you feel lonely, not starting your morning with the Teach Better team. Maybe you have to go back and find another recording that maybe you didn't hear before, so you can get your daily drop-in Teach Better team fix. Don't you worry, on Saturday, you have 12 hours of the Teach Better team bringing in so many different guests. We have over 100 giveaways, and it's just going to be insane on Saturday. So if February 26th is not on your calendar, add it right now. Throw us up on your television, streaming on YouTube, and it will be a full day of learning.
I think, Ray, it would be important at least the day before to get your Teach Better 12-hour live snacks ready. I know Jeff Gargas is the champion of 12-hour live snacks. I know Jeff will have some suggestions of his own. But yeah, whether it's sweet or salty, make sure you're stocked up. Make sure you're tuned to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, wherever you find us. Tune in for a few sessions. Tune in for the whole 12 hours. It's going to be incredible. Lots of fun, lots of learning, lots of connection. A few shenanigans thrown in, of course, and that's what Teach Better is all about. So I'm looking really, really excited about being part of 12-hour live this coming Saturday, or a week this Saturday.
That's incredible. So it's not this weekend like tomorrow, but it's the following weekend, and we're very excited. Tomorrow. Very excited to be able to celebrate with all of you. If you have not seen the full agenda, the full lineup of the themes, the topics, and the guests that are joining us, the conversations we're going to have, I definitely would encourage you to check your email. That should be coming to your inbox as a reminder to all of our network. over the next few days. So definitely continue to plan your day with us. I was going to say your morning, but it really is a full day. It starts at 8 a.m. Eastern. It goes till 8 p.m. Eastern. The giveaways are insane. That's what I have to work on today, is looking at all those giveaways that we have. Books, codes, swag. It's going to be ridiculous. I can't wait.
Snacks. The giveaways are going to be incredible. And Ray, I'm really excited about reconnecting a week today on Daily Drop-In again, as we do usually. But do we need to maybe cut things short next Friday, like just to get to save our energy for 12-hour live, or are we just going to let it all go and just
You know what,
expend every ounce?
Brad, the constant joke is that we start 12-hour live strong, and by the end of it, we just all give up. Jeff Gargas always jokes that I typically find some sort of snack or cake that I'm eating at the end of the show, and he always tells me how disrespectful it is to eat on camera. But when you've been live for 12 hours doing Educator PD, I think everyone deserves a little bit of cake. So I would encourage everybody to start strong on Saturday with us, and then finish a little schlubby at the end, and just grab your favorite snack, sit back on the couch, put your feet up, and enjoy it. It's going to be great.
Everybody joining, we can come together around a slice of cake. Everybody on camera, everyone who's watching, just come together at the end and celebrate. And it's going to be a wonderful time. And if you're new to the Teach Better family, get to know us through this opportunity. You're going to find lots of people on the Teach Better team that you're eager to connect with. You're going to find lots of content and lots of value in the guests that are coming. And anyway, it's all about growing your network and growing your network of care, and doing the best that you can.
I will say, Brad, before we go, maybe this is a little spoiler, but you mentioned cake.
I did.
And I don't know how many people know this, but a month after the 12-hour live, a month later, the Teach Better team will have a very special birthday. And I think we need cake for that as well. So I just think every single month we should find a reason to eat cake.
I think that both of these events really do take the cake, Ray, and I really want to enjoy. I want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to enjoy digging into a slice of birthday cake, celebrating Teach Better's birthday 1 month after the 12-hour live. It's going to be incredible.
So good. Friends, we hope that you have the most incredible Friday ahead of us. It is Friday, February 18th. There are so many good things in our lives right now that deserve our celebration. And of course, if you need anything, we are absolutely here to support you in whatever way possible. Brad, as always, thanks for joining me this morning. Always so fun to recap the week. We want to wish everyone a wonderful weekend. And as they finish their cup of coffee, just go enjoy this time that we have with students to continue to impact this incredible field. So, Brad, thanks again so much for joining me.
Always a pleasure. Have a great weekend, friends, and we'll look forward to reconnecting next week.
All right. See you later, friends. See you Monday.